Hello everyone and welcome to Marc's Bakery. This is not a Master Chef episode, but we're going to use a bakery scenario to help understand something about accounting. Now, as we all know, accounting is boring, but in every walk of life, you will see accounting. So the next time you go into a bakery to buy a banana cake, think of what we're going to do today. Now, Marc the Chef, who owns this bakery, would like to bake cakes, and his objective is to make profit, like any businessman. As in the case of Chef Marc, every manager would like to maximize his profit. Profit is a function of total revenue minus total cost. If every manager can fix his own price, he can maximize his profits. However, price is fixed by the market, so the manager has no control over price, but he definitely has control over his costs. But before he decides about making profit, he needs to know what goes into making this banana cake. He needs to understand the different aspects in terms of costs. Now, costs involve money. So to make one banana cake, if it's going to cost him $10, he has to make sure he can sell it for something more than $10. In accounting, we know that for every product you manufacture and sell, apart from these costs, we have to keep in mind the selling price. But according to the law of demand, we can't fix the selling price generally. So what a manager can do, since he can't control the selling price, is to look at his costs that go into the product that he's making, or baking in this case, and try to minimize the costs so that he can maximize his profit. Now, we're going to use this analogy of a banana cake to understand what total costs means to a manager. Now, total cost are all the expenses, all the costs that go into baking this banana cake. Now, if you look at a small, simple recipe of a banana cake, you need certain basic ingredients, and you also need certain gadgets to help you bake and get the banana cake. Now, Marc the baker would like to bake the cake so that you can eat it, and while you're eating it, he in turn eats some of it in terms of profit. So to bake one banana cake, I require one banana. And to make one banana cake, I require maybe 50 grams of butter, and maybe another 50 grams of flour, another maybe half cup of sugar, a little bit of milk, and 2 eggs. Apart from that, I will also need to put in a few drops of essence to give it a nice flavor. So those are some of the ingredients that I basically require to make my banana cake. At the same time, apart from these ingredients, I need these little gadgets, right? I need an egg beater to beat up the eggs. I need a weighing scale to weigh all my ingredients properly so that I get a cake at the end. I also need a baking tray, and I also need an oven. So looking at what I'm showing in front of you here, all this involves money. So if I were to make one banana cake, I need 2 eggs. And if the cost of 2 eggs is, say, 50 cents, so for one banana cake, I need 2 eggs costing me 50 cents. If I want to make 2 banana cakes, I'll need 4 eggs. 2 eggs cost me 50 cents, 4 eggs will cost me $1. Similarly, for one banana cake, if I need 1 banana, if I want to make 2 banana cakes, I'll need 2 bananas. So the concept here is some of the ingredients are fixed. To get one banana cake, at the minimum, I must have 2 eggs. So in case I put in 1 egg, the cake may not come out the way in which I want it. So these ingredients are fixed per banana cake. When I bake one banana cake, 2 eggs, 1 banana, X amount of sugar, X amount of flour, X amount of milk. If I want to make 10 banana cakes, I multiply all my ingredients by 10. And therefore, what I'm trying to explain to you here is, per banana cake, the cost is fixed. But when I go into baking 10 banana cakes, the cost becomes variable in nature. So that's the first type of cost I would like you to understand. that part of the total costs that go into making the banana cake are these variable costs. In other words, the number of eggs I require depends upon the number of cakes I'm going to bake. I repeat, I need 2 eggs for 1 banana cake. So if I'm making 10 banana cakes, I need 20 eggs. So eggs as an ingredient becomes a variable cost. Similarly, a banana, 1 banana for 1 banana cake, 10 banana cakes, I'll need 10 bananas. So banana is also a variable cost. On the other hand, I have certain gadgets here, including the oven, the weighing scale, etc. If I want to make 1 banana cake, I just need 1 tray, 1 weighing scale, and 1 oven. If I want to make 10 banana cakes, I don't need 10 ovens. I still need the same 1 oven. I still need the same 1 set of scales. And therefore, these ingredients, these instruments that help me make the banana cake are fixed in nature. So if the oven cost me, say, $2,000 to purchase, that's the fixed cost of the oven, irrespective of how many banana cakes I bake and sell. So the fixed cost and the variable cost together is what makes up the total cost of baking a banana cake. Now, why is this important to a manager? As I said a little while ago, price is fixed by the market. But these costs, we can control it. For example, if I want to make 100 banana cakes, I won't buy 2 eggs at a time. I'll buy them in bulk. When I buy them in bulk, I may get a discount. My cost goes down. So what we try to see here is total cost that comprises of variable cost and fixed costs. Every manager wants to maximize his profit. So if I know the total cost per banana cake, the next thing I want to know is how many banana cakes do I need to bake at the minimum so that the costs that go into making the cake equalizes the revenue, the income I earn from that number of cakes. So that's what is known as the optimum number of cakes I need to bake and sell at the minimum so that the cost incurred equalizes the revenue that is generated from baking of these cakes. So that concept in accounting is what is known as the break-even point. The break-even point is the point at which your total cost equalizes your total revenue. In other words, at break-even point, there's no profit, there's no loss. But is that what a manager needs? No, a manager wants to make profit. So once he knows, for example, I, the baker, I know if I bake, say, 100 cakes a day, the total cost of baking the 100 cakes is equal to the total revenue, the total income I'll earn from baking and selling those cakes. So as a baker, I will target not 100, but something more than 100. If I were to bake, say, 90 cakes, I'll incur a loss. If I bake 110 cakes, I will incur a profit. So this concept of break-even analysis, I've told you with the help of baking a cake, but in accounting we have more sophisticated tools. So how do we do this? There are 3 ways to achieve it. The first one is the equation method. As you can see on this slide, it's a little equation that is equating total revenue and total cost. The second method is the formula method, which is fixed cost over price minus variable cost. In other words, you can use the equation method or this formula to derive the break-even units at which total revenue equals total cost. And the third method is the graphical method, where you draw a chart, and in the chart, the key aspects are the total cost and the total revenue curves. The point at which the total cost curve meets the total revenue curve is your break-even point. At Marc's Bakery, which sells banana cakes, the fixed and the variable expenses per banana cake are as shown. Take a look at the fixed costs. You have the baker's salary, you have rent for the building, insurance, advertising, utilities. Now look at the variable costs. flour, vanilla essence, eggs, butter, sugar, banana. The fixed cost in total is $5,650 and the variable cost in total per banana cake is $7. In the case of Marc the Chef's banana cake, the total variable cost per cake is $7. Hence, if the selling price is $10 per banana cake, Marc the baker will recover $7 of his variable cost, and he'll have an extra $3 that will contribute to the fixed cost of baking the banana cake. If the fixed cost per banana cake is less than $3, then Marc has earned a profit. Why does this matter? The break-even point helps business owners determine when they'll begin to earn a profit after reaching the point at which total revenue equals total cost. This will assist them even in understanding whether the price at which the banana cake is sold is good enough to earn a profit to ensure the business will continue to be a sustainable venture.